Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 103 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where today I would like to open up a portal to Elfheim. And the reason I want to do that is very simple. I need to in order to play with the Fluix mana pearl. I was looking at it just a minute ago, getting ready for this episode to start, and I was like, oh yeah, let's see. Oh, it's a fabulous mana pool. Oh, that's not a regular mana pool, that's a fabulous mana pool, which requires Bifrost blocks, which you can only get with a Rod of the Bifrost and some Elf Glass, both of which require Elven crafting. So we're going to knock that out today real quick. It shouldn't be too bad, though. It shouldn't be bad at all. So in order to get that, we're going to need some mana stuff. I'm going to need some mana diamonds and some pearls and some ingots, and that should be cool. And I might add them to my don't pick up list over here, right? So you're a decent size, right? 5x5, yeah. So if I add these three, that means I should have no problem leaving my magnet on. Yes. Oh, look at that go. All right. So using the terrestrial agglomeration plate, if you've never played Botanical before, this is how you make Terra Steel. And the terrestrial agglomeration plate is not too hard to make. You just need some of each of the tier 1 runes, a block of mana steel, and some blocks of lapis. Really not a bad recipe. But you do also need about half a mana pool's worth of mana, which is honestly quite a lot. But once it burns through all that mana, you're good to go. A quick way to get a lot of mana in there, by the way, is to use sparks. Sparks will work automatically with the terrestrial agglomeration plate, so you should use them when you're crafting with that. And we can use sparks for some other cool stuff in the near future once we open up our portal to Elfheim. Speaking of, we now have a bunch of Terra Steel. Well, one. I wouldn't say a bunch, but one. And that one Terra Steel nugget will be used for quite a few things in Botania. So, to get going, what we're going to need first off is some glimmering living wood. I'm going to need 3 of those, okay? I'm going to need a bunch of living wood in addition to that. And then I'm going to need an Elven Gateway Core, which is this dude. The Elven Gateway Core is going to form the portal to the Elfheim dimension. Now, you can't really go there. There's a mod that adds the Elfheim dimension, but in normal in normal Botania, you can't go there. So keep that in mind. But it is a way that you can trade resources with the inhabitants of the Elfheim dimension, and you can give them items, and they'll give you other items back in return. We need to use these other Terra Steel nuggets, though. You need your whole ingot, and for those, we're going to need mana pylons. So there's 3 different types of mana pylon. There's regular mana pylons, which are nice for enchanting, by the way. There's Natura pylons, which are used for creating the Elven Gateway, and then there's Gaia pylons, which are used for creating the Gaia ritual, which we'll take a look at some point in the future. So to make my Natura pylon, we're going to need some mana pylons. I'm going to need 2 of these bad boys, so let's get them cooking. And then a couple Natura pylons are going to need an Eye of Ender. Let me get just like a bunch of those, because you always need a lot of them, right? So 1 and 2. And let's go figure out what we want to do that. Oh, while we're at it, we're probably going to need some more mana pools. So let's get just a couple of them. And that should be cool. I think over here is where I'll do it. So, like, I don't know. I'll probably automate most of these things at some point. So there's a couple places I could put it. We could put it, like, right here and have, like, a pretty compact... You know what? Let's try. Let's do it here. It should be fine. I think I could probably pull this off. Let's see. So I usually like to put it in the ground, and you basically create like, you know what, I might put it right in the corner, or do I want it one off from the corner? Well, one off from the corner. One off from the corner should be cool. So you build it up like a vanilla nether portal. In the center goes the Elven Gateway Core, and then on the sides, on the center of them, go the living wood, the glimmering living wood that you made. And then you. And then you. And that should be all she wrote. Cool. To open up this portal, we're going to need some mana nearby. And that's where these pools come into play. I think they can kind of be anywhere. That looks good. And they need some mana in the pools. So I'll make sure that the pools are in tablet to pool mode, and then I will drop them in there. And if you need to move the Natura pylons while you do that, that's fine too. Cool. And we're cruising. And then to open the portal is pretty easy. You just right-click the center block down there, and the portal shall open. And lots of particle effects. Sure, always a good time. Looks so good, doesn't it? So are you done? You're pretty much done. Are you done? Yeah, pretty much. Good job. And then you guys can do that. What I might do is right here, so I'll make a new radius of, let's make it like 7. Does that sound cool? That noise can stop. Thank you very much. Right? Like I don't mind the mana spreaders, but that noise doesn't need to happen anymore. Deal? Deal. All right, so we've got Portal Alfheim open. We've got Terrestrial Agglomeration Plate working. Let's make our mana stuff. So first off, we're going to want our fabulous mana pool. For that, we're going to need Elf Glass, which you just drop mana glass into the portal, and it'll spit out Elf Glass. So if we want some mana glass, we're going to need some regular glass. And it's just, if I remember correctly, glass dropped in a mana pool. Cool. And then you go in there, and he'll start trading. Sweet. So that's Elf Glass. Easy peasy. The other thing we're going to need for the Bifrost is the Rod of the Bifrost. So we're going to need some Dragonstone, which is diamonds. We're going to need some Pixie Dust, which is mana pearls. And then we're going to need some Elementium ingots, which are 2 mana steals to 1 ingot. Okay, so keep that in mind. So see, I put 12 in there, and I got 6. And I put 6 in there, and I get 3. Cool. And then you, and then you. And I could probably get another set of these guys. Maybe half of them will go in here. That works. And then I should be good for my Bifrost Rod. Sweet. And then I can combine you with Elf Glass to make Bifrost blocks. And if I want to make a fabulous mana pool, I can either take an existing mana pool and put the Bifrost blocks around them, or I can just use Shimmer Rock, which is just Bifrost and Living Rock. So I'll go this route. Easier, I think, maybe. So that would be you, and now I can make Fluix Mana Pearl. Alright, Fluix Mana Pools. How do these work? I have no idea. I wonder if there's like an entry book in the Lexica. Is there like an add-on here? So there's an entry for Fluix something, but it's locked. What would it be locked behind? There's actually a healthy amount locked. What are you locked behind? Complete advancements to unlock more. Let's take a look at what advancements we might have not completed yet. I wonder if there's like advancements for that mod that adds those things. Let's see, what mod might be Taste the Rainbow, obtain rainbow coal. Nice. That's cool. Nature's Aura, Botania. Not seeing anything particularly. There's Botania challenges, but those are like Botania. I don't see anything particular to that one. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to try... So applied Botanics. Is there a mana cell housing? Can I search for cell? There are entries for mana cells. Maybe I have to make one of these before we can get it. Oh, you know what? We need Gaia spirits. Maybe we have to unlock and do the Gaia spirit thing first. Should we do that? Yeah, I think it's probably time for a Gaia fight. So for a Gaia fight, I know we're going to need a beacon, and we're going to need some Gaia pylons. So let's get the Gaia fight going. So I think we need 4 Gaia pylons, if I'm remembering correctly. So you and another half a stack of you should be helpful. And that should be cool. You go away. So maybe once we do the Gaia fight, it'll unlock those chapters for me. That's what I'm thinking. So I just need a little bit more Elementium and Pixie Dust. I think if you put something in there that doesn't belong in there, you don't get it back. I might be wrong about that. Oops, that's not where that goes. You're gonna go Gaius. Yeah. Okay. Let me get ready to do this, and we'll be right back. Oh, and you know what else you can do, by the way? Is you can throw your book in there. Boop. And that'll help. So that might open up some more chapters for you. We'll find out. Let's see. Did that open up cell? Oh, it did. It opened up mana drives. Sweet. Ever want to throw magic under the bus and go numerical? Shame on you. Just what Vasky never wanted. Accurate. And then now does it show me the mana pool? What's it called again? The Fluix mana pool? Yeah, so. There we go. Cool. Operates on mana from the attached ME system. This isn't so bad. How do we get mana into the attached AE system? That's the real question that everybody wants to know. Maybe, I'm guessing once we have the thing good, then the thing will make sense. Like once we make it. So let's get the, because we need mana drives anyway, right? So mana cell housing requires a spirit, and then you do whatever you want, right? Storage drive wise. So let's get a 64K storage component so we can store lots of mana, and then we'll kill the Gaia spirit to get these guys. So in order for this to work, I know we're going to need another Terra Steel. So let's get some more mana. So 1, 2, 3. Cool. Really need to stop magneting things up. Probably need some better loot spreaders, to be honest with you. And I need you, and I'm gonna need you set to the Ritual of the Gaia. So that's gonna be a big multi-block structure, but it's not bad. We can just visualize it. Right here, do we feel like this might be cool, or is that too close to that building? Might be a little close. Like, let's maybe put it here just to be safe. You can't like to prevent you from like cheesing the fight too much, which I'm probably gonna wind up doing if I'm being honest. But to prevent you from cheesing the fight too much, there's like a size limit, and you can't have like structures around the center of the multi-block too much. Cool, and then beacon can go there, and then we need the Gaia pylons. Cool. And then if you want to start the fight, then you just shift right click. See, look, it's telling you that there's something within the radius. It's the tree. It doesn't like the tree. The tree is a problem. Not too big of a problem. We can cut down trees. That's something that's within my skill set. I've been doing that since episode 1. Maybe not exactly that way, though. Okay, let's make sure that we have a good amount of inventory space available. So I'm going to put you guys all away. That should be sufficient. And I don't need you out, or you, or you. I'll hang on to this just in case, but I doubt I'll need you, and I will probably want this. All right. Dun dun dun. The Guardian of Gaia fight is not terribly. It's tough if you're just doing vanilla stuff, for sure. But when you have overpowered weapon and gear, it's not obviously too terrible. There is a limit on how much damage you can take. He'll teleport around. He'll give you withering if you stand in the purple spots. So like, don't stand in the purple spots. See, it's actually hurting a little bit. Definitely don't stand in the purple spots. And then at some point you get into this second phase where he'll start summoning bad guys. And recommended you don't do this at night for obvious reasons. And having an overpowered bow definitely helps. And he summons a lot of pixies. And then at some point he'll stop summoning dudes and be available to attack again. And he's only got a little bit of health left, as you can see. There you go. And this is the basic Gaia Guardian fight. There is a more advanced Gaia Guardian fight, which is harder and gives you better loots. But at least for now, we've got our Gaia Spirits, which means we can make a mana cell housing, which is cool. So you are here now and ready to go. And now we can get a 64k mana cell, which I assume I can go put in my disk drive. Okay, let's put our Gaia Spirits away for now. I'm going to need them for something else in the near future. You can see on the bottom right there. So 0 out of 64 bytes used. Works for me. Let's pop back over here now and figure out how to use this thing. I'm going to put it down in the world and see what happens, because I literally have no clue. It doesn't have a UI, device offline, so that's not cool. And cables, maybe? Yep, he clearly can connect up to some cables. Debating if I want to... I'm going to bring this down one, I think. Okay. So now you're online. Cool. So, thoughts. I don't know how to, like, designate that you should be, like, giving mana or taking mana, right? And the book is not super helpful about how that pool works. Operates on mana from the attached ME system. Is there like a chapter by chance on... Let's see, mana manipulation. I don't see anything particularly in there. Natural apparatus, I wouldn't expect it to be in there. Since I already looked at it, I'm just jumping to the end where I would expect to see, you know, a red chapter, right? There it is. It's in the mystical, or the miscellaneous. All right, so mana drives, Fluix. So the only other thing in the mod is a P2P tunnel, which doesn't have a chapter. All right, so let's try this. I'm going to put a spark on it and dump mana into it and see what that does. So if I throw a spark on you, and then if this doesn't work, I'm going to Google. All right, but I'm going to put you there, and then we're going to use a spark augment. I want recessive. So different augments do different things. Dominant means any mana pools nearby with mana in them, pull from those mana pools and fill this one up. Recessive does the opposite. It says, if I have mana in my pool, I will distribute it to all nearby pools. I will dump out all my mana and try to give it to other nearby pools. Isolated means to ignore those two. So like if you put an isolated spark on a pool, it won't be affected by these two. And then dispersive will fill up any mana tablets in player inventories nearby. So to get a recessive, we should just do this. We might have an earth. Yeah, we do. Cool. So if I do that, he should be sending mana to this here, Fluix mana pool, which is cool. But are you getting any mana? You are getting mana. Sweet. Okay. Well, that's nifty. But the question then becomes, like, how much mana? And, like, does this ever... So does this Fluix mana pool just, like, represent the total amount of mana available? So if I remove the spark here... Right, so you've got 1310. If I take that out, you're empty. Oh, I think I get it. It's kind of like an ender chest. So like this thing will fill up with mana, and it represents how much mana is in the disc. So if the disc were smaller, this pool would fill up faster, is how I understand it, if I'm not mistaken. Which sounds kind of cool to me, right? Okay, that's neat. So I would imagine that, like, once the blue bar fills up all the way, we'll have, you know, a full cell. Does that make sense? And then in theory, I could stick another pool in another location and access the same pool of mana, like an ender chest would, right? Like, it's all shared, and it's all based off that disc. Does that make sense? I think that's how that works. That's kind of cool. Alright, so I'd like to do another Gaia fight, but I want to do the tier 2 Gaia fight. And so for that, we're going to need a Gaia ingot. And instead of just putting Terra Steel in the thing, we put a Gaia ingot in the thing. And Gaia ingots require Gaia Spirit, so we shouldn't be too surprised to you that you need to do the first one first, and then you can do the second one. The second fight is a lot harder. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem for me in my OP gear. It should really be quite easy, unfortunately, which is fine. So you can go here. Turn our magnet back on, and let's do it up. Dun dun dun. So this one teleports a lot faster. Also has projectiles that, like, it shoots at you, so keep moving. Also, flight's disabled here, so if you try to activate some form of flight, it'll shut you down. Oh boy, look at that. Hold on. I wonder if that was, like, my jetpack activating that did that much damage. So lots more purple stuff on the ground to avoid. Oh yeah, Last Stand activated. I am definitely dying a lot. Yay for Last Stand, though. Very yay for Last Stand. What did I die? Twice that fight? Fight's no joke, guys. It's a tough one. You really, if you're doing this without OP Apotheosis gear, then what you should be doing is using potions, you know, the best enchants you can get. There's some stuff from Botanical you can do that helps augment you. So lots of options to make your setup better. And then obviously do a little better job of avoiding the pink blobs on the ground than I have. I usually just kind of, because I know I'm overpowered, I wasn't putting that much effort into it. But definitely avoid those. Don't open up the UIs for the beacon with your bow. Thank you. Fight complete. For that fight, you will get a bunch of stuff. So you can see here, I got that Elementium sword, I'm pretty sure. I got 16 Gaia ingots, so a lot more. You got a Will of Guthin, which is an upgrade to the Terrasteel helmet. There are many wills from Botania. 6 of them, I think, or 7? Yeah, 6. You can put them on your Terrasteel helmet if you make the Terrasteel gear, and it'll augment the helmet a little bit. I'm pretty sure you only get them from the Gaia Guardian drop. It drops generally a bunch of mana, drops a couple runes. Oh, the Pinkinator. I love the Pinkinator. Turns the Wither pink. Super fun. Music disc sometimes. And then you get a Dice of Fate, which is a random chance to get a really cool item. You can find that in the Alphamancy. There's the Relics of Aesir. And if you take a look in that chapter, you'll see that there's basically, I think there's 6 of them. Yeah. Because it's a 6-sided die, so you roll the dice, and it'll determine what you get, right? So that time it landed on a 3, so I got the Eye of Flugel, which you can read about in the book. The Eye of Flugel contains primordial Flugel magic strong enough, in fact, to harness the Flugel's ability to recall themselves to a pre-visited location. Sneak while clicking this eye somewhere will bind the position. Holding right-click with the bound eye will then use mana to warp its player back to the location it was bound. So, no cross-dimensional stuff, though. Used to fly with empty flight bar at a higher mana cost. Cool. If you have the Flugel Tiara. So you can do like this, and then might need mana on me. Something like that. Maybe I need to charge it for longer. There we go. I need to bind it like that, and then I can... Cool. Nifty, right? So there's 6 of them, and you won't ever get the same one twice. So if you fight the Gaia Guardian 6 times, you're pretty much guaranteed to get you know, something new. The Pinkinator is cool. I do like the Pinkinator. We need to Pinkinate it with her at some point. How's my mana pool doing after all this time? Where's my wand? Not terrible. 1/8 of the way full. So would my guess be that we're right around 8,000 mana over here? Yep. A little bit more than that, right? So that's cool. Alright, so we've got the Advanced Gaia Guardian. What I'd like to do now is improve those mana spreaders. So there are Gaia mana spreaders, which are super cool. They need Elven spreaders, though, which needs Glimmering Dreamwood, which is just Dreamwood, or Living Wood. Is that all the Living Wood I have? Really? Get more of that if we can. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to do half a stack on each pedestal. And then that should get to work. Cool. But then the Dreamwood that I do have can go in there. And then I should be able to get mana spreaders. So Elven mana spreaders are better than regular mana spreaders. And Gaia mana spreaders are way better than their counterpart. I just need some more mana diamonds. I got enough here. Right. So what I'm going to do is break you guys real quick. Okay, and then we will do that, and then we will do that, and then we will bind you guys appropriately, and rebind your flowers to make sure that they're bound to the correct... It looks like they are, so that's cool. Good deal. So those Gaia spreaders should be able to spread mana, like, way faster. And that should be good. Yeah, so see how they're not even, like, fully running at this point? How's my... not bad. We're getting some. Yeah, there's definitely some happening. But the Gaia mana spreaders will be able to transfer mana way faster than a normal spreader. So the same amount of mana is going in there. It's just not constant because we're now transferring it faster than we can produce it. Where in the past, it was the opposite. And all my standing near dropping mana, or dropping in experience, has gotten me up to level 90, which is a good time, but I think I'm cool. Let's go put that away somewhere. Don't really need it. Alright, so now we should have a really healthy amount of mana. I don't know how much this compares to a pool. Like, I don't know in terms of numerical what a pool has, but it didn't seem like much. It was like 1 or 2,000. So I feel like a 64k cell is going to be like 32-ish mana pools worth of mana, which is kind of fun, for sure. And then we should have the blazes running down there, right? They should be active and running. Yep. They definitely are. Cool. Alright, so what do you say we wrap up this episode here? I'm going to let these run for a little bit. When we come back next episode, we'll have even more mana, and then we'll see what kind of cool, fun things from Botania we can use it for. For now, Del20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.